Sunspot region AR4366, a monster spanning over 6 Earths wide, has been on a rampage, unleashing a barrage of the most powerful flares this cycle has seen. In recent days alone, we've witnessed the colossal X8.1 flare late on February 5th, the strongest update hitting us hard, the explosive X4.2 on February 4th, the fierce X2.8, the sharp X1.6, and the starter X1.0 from early February, plus dozens of M-class beasts fueling the fire. These aren't gentle sparks. They're nuclear-level eruptions hurling billions of tons of charged plasma toward us via coronal mass ejections, CMEs, now slamming into Earth's magnetic field and triggering geomagnetic storms that could light up the skies with northern lights far south than usual. Stick with me through this deep dive because today, February 6th, we're in the thick of it. G1 minor geomagnetic storm ongoing, possible G2 upgrade, auroras pushing into mid-latitudes tonight. You'll see exclusive NASA SDO footage of these eruptions in slow motion, coronagraph views of CMEs ballooning like apocalyptic clouds, and real-time Aurora captures that will drop your jaw. By the end, you'll understand why this is one of the most intense solar weeks in years, and why hitting subscribe now is essential for staying ahead of the next cosmic punch. Quick disclaimer first, this video is purely educational and based on public data from NOAA SWPC, Space Weather Live, and NASA. Solar activity can affect tech, but always verify real-time alerts from official sources. I'm not an official forecaster. This is community-driven analysis for awareness. All right, let's dive into the chaos. Right now, the sun is in full solar maximum rage during cycle 25, and AR4366 is the undisputed kingpin. This active region has ballooned into a Delta-class nightmare with twisted magnetic fields that snap and reconnect like giant rubber bands under insane tension. When they break, X-class flares erupt. The top tier, each one releasing energy equivalent to billions of atomic bombs. The latest bombshell, an X8.1 flare exploded at around 6:57 p.m. ET on February 5th. That's early February 6th UTC, classified R3 strong with radio blackouts rippling across the globe. NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory captured it in stunning detail. Watch the screen flood with teal and gold plasma as a brilliant white spike shoots out, loops of superheated gas arching millions of kilometers high before collapsing in fiery rain. This flare launched a significant CME, models showing a glancing blow to Earth late February 5th into 6th, merging with high-speed solar wind from a coronal hole for extra punch. Current stats? Solar wind screaming at over 570 km/s, BZ field dipping southward, KP index hovering at levels fueling G1 storms with G2 potential. That means compressed magnetosphere, charged particles pouring into our atmosphere, and auroras igniting like neon curtains across polar and mid-latitudes. Let's break down the top recent heavy hitters, starting from the fresh X8.1 on February 5th, 6th. The visuals are insane. SDO's 131 angstrom channel shows the flare blooming like a supernova, overwhelming sensors with pure white intensity, dark absorption ribbons snaking across the sunspot like battle scars. This one sustained high radiation, pushing proton levels and triggering S1 radiation storm alerts. Astronauts on ISS got dosimeter warnings. High-altitude flights rerouted. The CME, a partial halo fast at around 1,500 km, is now grazing us and amplifying disturbances. Imagine the coronagraph footage from SOHO, a massive dark bubble expanding, engulfing inner planets' orbits, its leading edge compressing Earth's bow shock. Effects already rolling in, minor radio blackouts, R1, R2, lingering GPS glitches reported in northern regions, power grid operators on alert for induced currents. But the payoff? Auroras exploding in vivid greens, reds, and purples, sightings pushing south to states like New York, Pennsylvania, even whispers of visibility farther if G2 hits. Time lapses show wavy emerald veils dancing over snowy forests, reflected in icy lakes, city skylines glowing unnaturally against the cosmic light show. Before that, the X4.2 flare on February 4th at 12:13 UTC ramped up the intensity. Switched to multi-wavelength composite, blues, yellows, and fiery oranges layering for a psychedelic storm on the sun's disk. AR4366's core ignites in a nuclear flash, plasma arcs whipping upward like solar tsunamis, raining back as coronal rain in dramatic slow-mo. This long-duration event pumps sustained X-rays, causing R3 blackouts over wide areas, aviation comms disrupted. Associated CME asymmetric but Earth-directed, adding to today's storm pileup. Visuals peak here, plasma ejecta glowing ember red against black space, dwarfing Earth in scale. Auroras from this compounded the show, pillars of light shooting skyward over Canada and northern US, greens dominating but reds bleeding in for that blood sky drama. Deeper impacts? Ionosphere ripples causing 20-50 meter GPS errors, satellite drag increasing orbital decay risks. This flare echoed past monsters like 2003's Halloween storms. Transformers hummed dangerously, but our modern grid held, barely. Climbing higher, the X2.8 and X1.6 flares earlier in the week set the stage perfectly. Footage from February 3rd, 4th shows AR4366 as a seething cauldron, pores bubbling like lava, granules churning violently. In 304 angstrom red view, it's an inferno. Flares whip crack with light brighter than the corona itself. These mid-X beasts launched fast CMEs at 1,500 plus km/s, partial halos merging en route. By arrival, they supercharged solar wind, pushing speeds and density for sustained geomagnetic pressure. Auroras intensified globally. Reports from Europe, Canada, vivid curtains waving like silk in wind, reflected in oceans and cities, heavier animations, Earth's magnetic field lines bending, substorms injecting energy, ring currents swelling like a belt tightening. Historical ties? Flares like these mirror events that once sparked telegraphs on fire. Today, they threaten interconnected grids, satellites 10,000 plus in orbit, and trillion-dollar infrastructure. Tying it all together, AR4366 has fired over 10 X-class flares this week alone, plus endless M-class support, making it one of the most prolific regions in recent memory. Why so intense? Solar maximum peak, magnetic complexity maxed out, fields primed for reconnection. Today's G1 storm, with G2 odds, stems from CME pileup and coronal whole wind, KP climbing, Aurora oval expanding. For Lahore or Pakistan viewers, direct sightings unlikely, too far south, but high-latitude travelers or online live cams will catch the show. Peak viewing tonight into tomorrow, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. local and viewing zones, dark skies key, apps like Aurora forecast for alerts. Whew, what a solar onslaught. From the X8.1 fresh blast to the chain of X-class hammers, February 2026 is solar history in the making, linking to bigger cycles, cosmic rays, even subtle weather influences. Thrilling, yet sobering reminder of our star's power. If these heavy visuals and real-time breakdowns got your heart racing, smash that like button. Subscribe for daily space weather alerts, aurora updates, and flare breakdowns. You won't want to miss the next eruption. Turn on notifications so you're first notified when the sun roars again. Drop your thoughts or sightings in comments. Have you caught any auroras lately? Share and let's geek out together. Thanks for watching. Stay charged, stay aware, and keep looking up. Peace.